Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. So while we're still trying to get bees nests to populate on this damn server, so I think way back when I might have complained to you about this, but possibly not. So I'll give you the background on it anyway. I used to work, I used to be an emergency department nurse, and the way our health record displays your patients that come in, it looks like this like Excel spreadsheet. It's pretty much, they call it the tracking shell. It's like the Cerner's definition for this thing. It looks like it's an Excel spreadsheet of patient name and information about them, and that you scroll through that as new people come in, it gets bigger. And then the different tabs, in theory, just like an Excel spreadsheet, are like, if I put somebody the way my emergency department works, you put them on a team, so you would move them over to like the blue team or the red team or the green team as they move to the team. So you'd set a little box and they would show up on those tabs as well. That's the basic concept of how it shows you patients. Well, being the nature of the emergency department and what it was, it always wanted to be up to date. And so it would automatically refresh. There's a button you could hit to refresh it, but it would also automatically refresh itself every 30 seconds to make sure it had the most current view of all the new patients, as well as there was tasks that would, if you had certain orders, it would have different tasks that show up there that you're supposed to do. I always thought it was this terrible design of the way it did this auto refresh, because not only did it update every 30 seconds, it wasn't 30 seconds from the last refresh per se. It was like hard coded that it would refresh every like 2 seconds after the minute and 32 seconds after the minute.
Okay.
So sometimes if you refreshed it manually with like at on the minute exactly randomly, 2 seconds later it would refresh again.
All right. Okay.
Because it was just on this 30-second like interval timer. I always thought that was like bad enough design itself, but whatever. It's not really going to be that big of a deal. The biggest problem with it is, just like an Excel spreadsheet, you can sort the different columns. So if I want to see like room number, and that's the view that I want to look at, or if I want to look at basically by patient name. If somebody came in, like a family came in and said, hey, I'm looking for, Joan Smith. Is a Joan Smith here? And I was looking to see what room they were in. I would sort the column by, I would go to the all beds tab to show me everybody in the emergency department and sort it by name and scroll down. When the refresh would happen,
it just takes you back to the top.
It takes you back to the default sort. It would just, whatever the default of that tab that you were looking at, it would, at the refresh, it would refresh to what the default was. And I will tell you multiple times as a nurse working 12-hour shift, stressful night, have a family member that comes up and asks you a very simple question. I would be on this all beds tab. I'd be scrolling through the list, just coming up to like the S's and about to find this patient, and have the thing refresh on me automatically and default sort back to something else. So I'm looking at a completely different like set of people anymore. It was enough to make me want to like throw the monitor across the room, because that last little straw that was
right,
too much. Always a huge complaint of mine when I worked as the emergency department. And I remember 6 months after we went live with our initial product, and so we're talking back in 2013 timeframe. Cerner, the company, because that's who we bought our health record from, they came and wanted to poll different departments and areas and see what improvements, like how is everything going? What improvements can we make? And the emergency department, by far, that was their biggest complaint and concern, was how the hell can this thing like do this? There has to be like a button that you can hit that when it refreshes, it keeps your sort.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, like nobody's ever brought this up before. Like, no, weird. Like we've never heard it before, which has got to be bullshit,
Yeah.
And they basically said we can either turn off the automatic refresh and you have to manually refresh it every time, or the refresh will always make it go back to its default sort. That's just the way it is.
That's not true, but okay.
Terrible. It's one of those like terrible design things. It really gets back to one of the complaints I've always had about electronic health records is they're fucking shitty. They're designed from different systems. They were made popular because of government regulations making people implement EHRs, as opposed to just the fact you have to implement them to get certain data versus usability of said systems is what took precedence. So a couple of EHR companies like came out on top because everybody needed to go live with an EHR by a certain date. So it was like, you're driving change backwards, essentially, is what it,
Right.
what it becomes, not from the right direction. So long story short, sometime middle 2019, so mid last year, like in May timeframe, we had to update to like what they called code 2018. So it was basically, we were still a year behind, but it was the 2018 code set, which I think previously we were on like the 2015 or 2016 code set, but it was a major update that it takes a lot of testing and things like that to get in, which is why we, it was in 2019 we put in the 2018 code set, which offered a lot of enhancements. This enhancement not being one of them that was on paper.
Uh-huh.
When we went live with it, lo and behold, this was fixed.
Oh, nice.
Nobody knew. It wasn't written down anywhere in their change log that this was like a fix. It was just like this pleasant surprise that this was a fix. And so we started speculating. Maybe it was just because maybe it actually was an enhancement a long time ago that we never realized was like they made an option. They made a choice that we just never implemented because we had no idea. At some point became like an option that you could add, but whatever the default of this code pack was, like this was part of it. So great. I shit you not. Sometime in December, so we'd been live with this update since May. Sometime in December, we get an email from somebody at our system level analyst who was like, "Oh, we started getting complaints about the default sort view not reverting like it should. It turns out this is a bug in the new code."
What?
I shit you not. Bug in the new code. Cerner is making a hot fix for us. We'll need people to test it as it gets ready. And I'm looking at this email going, whoa. There has to be some type of misunderstanding here. Like, there's no way that this is, for one, a bug, and for two, that you're getting complaints about this. And apparently, some facility somewhere, because all of our facilities use the same code level and the same like EHR platform, all the facilities I work for, which is like 10 different hospitals. And I'm like, there's got to be some type of mistake. Like something has to be wrong here. But they legit got some complaint from somebody. I just don't know who it is. Their statement was that there was no way to go back to if they changed the default sort, since the refresh didn't make the default sort come back. There was no way to get back to the default sort again, short of closing the application and reopening it again.
Is that true?
Which is no, because the default sort was literally, you tell the tab, you sort by one of these columns is the default sort. All you do is you go click the fucking button if you sort by name, because I click on the name column, so I put it in ascending or descending order. I go click on the fucking room name, whatever the default sort of that tab was, to put it back to what the default was. Like,
right.
Whatever it was originally sorting by, I go click that tab, and that's going to take it to the default sort. But the default sort you can set differently for whatever tab it is to make it easier. Because some tabs you want sorted by name, and some tabs you want sorted by bed, depending on what view it is you're looking. I'm in bed by the way. So the complaint holds no water. Immediately, one of the physicians in my hospital wrote an email and was like, whoa. I don't think this is the route we want to go. Like, why would we want to fix this? I didn't realize this was a bug. I think this is kind of the feature we've been looking for.
Right.
And I followed up quickly with an email. I was like, I agree with, this doctor. If you're even thinking about changing this, which I don't understand why you would, you need to just not say, oh, it's different than it used to be, therefore it must be fixed. It's been 7 months at this point. You need to vet this through with everybody and make sure this is what they want.
Yeah.
Never heard from them again on this. In the interim, this is in December, in the interim, or shortly before this, my person who covers the emergency department in my department's perspective took on a new job. So we haven't had a specific coverage person for the emergency department. So nobody's really sitting on all their work group calls until we hire somebody to make up for it. We're just kind of keeping up with the emails and some of the minutes and things like that, trying to make sure we don't miss anything major, but nobody's really thoroughly looking at all this stuff. Today I get an email and it was just like, oh, we put the fix into this domain. Everybody needs to go in and test it now and make sure it works so we can schedule a production date and make it live. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I heard nothing about this email. I have no idea what's going on. And all of a sudden, they're now just they've built it. They scheduled it to go live, and I start emailing all these analysts. I'm like, I said, I apologize. I haven't been to these meetings. Are you really telling me that everybody wants this to go in? Oh yeah. I got talked about groups and everybody approved it. I'm like, are you really, really, really sure it was talked about and what this is? Oh yeah, yep. Everybody approved it. Everybody wants this. I said, okay, that's fine. I am literally sitting here like dumbfounded and baffled because they're just gonna go put this back to what it was that I am 100% certain the day that it goes live, which is they're probably scheduling it for sometime in like 2 or 3 weeks after it's tested thoroughly. I guarantee, and I'm marking the words now, I guarantee there's going to be a bitch fest the day it goes live on why the fuck did somebody change this back to this crappy design. I'm marking it now in this video, and I will keep everybody posted because I don't understand.
Every time you talk about these sort of things, what are you looking for?
I made a chest that I put a bunch of wood in.
Yeah, I put all the wood. I made a thing over here to turn all the wood into charcoal. So
I was like, I'm gonna put all the wood, the rest of the wood, but all the wood's gone. Like,
yeah, now all the wood's turned into charcoal right now.
By the way, I still haven't gotten any more bees.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm just gonna organize all these chests from our dig.
Oh, this is terrible. Yeah. No, every time I talk about this.
Yeah, no, it's just like all over the place. Like it's nothing's consistent. That's part of the problem. It seems like just what happened.
Well, so one of the newest things that's coming out is we're getting a brand new handheld device coming up in the next couple of weeks. Actually, we've had so when I say handheld device, there's a device that you use in the healthcare field, nurses specifically, for scanning medications, scanning laboratory values, things like that. It's basically like it ensures that you've got the correct patient, the correct order. You know,
what was
you're
that
drawing
sound?
the right labs. That's what.
What was that sound?
A sheep.
I heard some weird sound.
I don't know what.
Okay. Sorry. Carry on. It was like.
Oh, it's probably one of those water zombies.
It happened again.
It's probably a water zombie by you.
No, I've never heard the sound before.
Oh my god, this axe is going to cost me 35 levels to fix.
Jeez.
Because it's efficiency 3 and unbreaking 2.
Is it not the first time you fixed it? Maybe.
No, it's like the 50. Even putting one piece of iron on it. This axe is going to die. I'm going to let it die. It's gone. Because that ain't worth it. I need to make a diamond axe and get some of this stuff on it. So this axe is going to explode. Yeah, so we're getting these new handheld devices, which we're talking, the one we currently use, we implemented in 2013.
Wow.
So it is well past its shelf life.
Uh-huh.
The problem that we had is the applications that we currently use, they're updating them because these are old. Like they were built on a Windows CE platform. I mean, that's how old we're talking these things are because it's a device that runs Windows CE. The new devices are going to be like these Android devices, and Cerner took a whole different direction and rebuilt their whole new application like suite to run on Android devices, so you can have a slew of devices, and they're not just built for a specific device. And it's basically coming up to the new age, and which is fine, which is what they should do. But they're also behind enough to where the applications weren't all ready. So right now we're actually about to go live with the application to scan medications, but we don't have a replacement for our one that do lab draws for a couple months because they were behind in creating it.
Uh-huh.
So that's not the part that I'm complaining about. The people, even some of these people that work for Cerner that are at our facility, are complaining to me when I talk to them about it because they finally got a first crack of testing these devices. Because these aren't people who built it; they're the people who do like the implementations and help the hospital. So they've never seen the application either. And you have this medication administration workflow that they're doing all the training on for our people because we're in the middle of our end user training. And they finally got to see the lab specimen stuff, and they're preparing to get the training ready for that as well for our facility. And their first complaint back to the place that they worked for was, we've been training on this medication administration stuff for, since it's been out there. And now you're putting the specimen collection, which works on the exact same device, but everything's in a completely different spot. Like the sign button, when you sign stuff into an electronic health record, instead of being on the top right where everything else is, it's on like the bottom left. Like just fundamental changes that nothing is consistent, which makes zero sense.
Do the people that make these things work at YouTube?
They might. They probably moonlight at like YouTube, or
this is the problem.
Yeah, I mean they must. It baffles me how we can have such a good interface for an iPhone, an Android in general, like just a phone, because they're trying to get consumers to, want to use these devices. Yet you have this just terribly, terribly shitty application that's dealing with your well-being and possible.
Yeah, I've noticed. I don't know. It seems like the medical industry is I don't know, like a lot of really important industries seem very far behind on some things, technology wise. I don't understand it. It seems like they should not be. That should not be the case, basically.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the case, but somehow it is, and it is absolutely baffling. Absolutely baffling. I just don't get it. I'm so curious to see where the medical industry is in 10 years, because it's gotta have made some fundamental changes, or it's going to be so far behind technology that it just doesn't even make sense. Wow, it cost me more to repair just a standard old diamond axe, diamond-wise, than it does to make a new one.
Yeah, that's normally how that works. Like, it's always better to make the new axe and repair it using the new axe.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I wonder how much it would have cost to repair that with. Well, I just let the iron go. Oh well. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna put Unbreaking 3 and Mending on this axe with this book that was in here. It cost $9, and it's gonna have Bane of Arthropods. Awesome. Best thing on an axe is Bane of Arthropods, right?
I think so. That's what they say. Lots of spider killing.
Yeah, I just don't understand. And it's so sad being somebody who, Jeff, aren't you in informatics? Like, isn't this your job? Well, not really. I don't work for the electronic health record companies.
Yeah, I mean, you don't design software.
No. I try to. I hear something crazy too now.
Yeah, it's like kind of like water a little bit.
Well, no, it's like it sounded like a cross between a what are the things that fly?
Phantoms.
And a what?
Phantom.
Yeah, it sounded like a cross between a phantom and a zombie.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something underground over here.
There's something.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, but a lot of people and they get mad at me constantly, like certain people who, I can't say don't know any, certain people who know better and know software can do better. And they're like, why? I've asked you to make this, to fix this problem for us numerous times. Why haven't you fixed it yet? Like, it's making it really hard on the nurses to document. It's like, I can't fix that problem. Like, I am not the company that we get the EHR from. It is a functionality limitation of theirs.
Right.
Or it's a functionality limitation of the way that we've implemented their system that might have been possible, but this other thing that we do prevents that from being able to happen because of the way my corporation does things in general, So there's a lot of things where this isn't really, I can't help you at all. All I can really do is liaise between the analysts on your requests, and they tell me what is and is not possible in the system because they don't let me build in the system.
Right. Probably most people don't understand that, though. They just assume you do it all. Like, you made it.
People think that nursing informatics means I'm IT. Like, I walk onto a unit and they're like, "Oh, Jeff, my mouse stopped working." And I'm like, you know that I don't do that. Like, you know that I don't do that. numerous times, but I'll get it taken care of for you. I'll get you to the right people or tell the right people.
That's why they do this. You keep helping.
That's part of the problem. Is I understand that the average nurse doesn't know better, and we shouldn't make it. I mean, how frustrating is it for? Oh, you called the return line. You need to call the refund line. I'm sorry, that's a completely different department.
Right.
You've been on hold for 3 hours. Sorry about that. So call this other number now and start over. That's. You don't want.
That's like your that lady. Either. God, I would. Some people probably get off on that. Like your salad
dressing lady. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. You. This wasn't this was the concern department, not the complaint department.
Yeah.
So if you have a different concern that I might be able to help you with, then we can talk. But if this is a complaint, I'm sorry. That's a different group of people you got to talk to.
All I've done is organized, but our stuff's more organized at least.
All I've done is cut down trees and not get any more beehives.
It is weird how few beehives we have gotten.
What do you mean? Well, how few? One?
Yeah, the one, and they both just died too. Like I don't even know what we did wrong, but we killed them.
Well, I know yours. I'm determined is died because they stung you, and I think that's programmed in. If they sting you, it's dead. I don't know where the other one went though.
Right.
Maybe he went into the fire, like the lava, like you said, or do they just eventually, if they're away from their hive for long enough, they just die out?
That's possible too.
Is he like flying around behind the mountain and like he just doesn't know how to pathfind his way?
Yeah. Yeah, it is really weird. I'm not really sure what's going on with that one, or what went on with that one, because at this point he's gone. There's no more wondering. He's gone.
And now, if we get more bees, like, will they only go to their home hive, or is this hive like useless now?
That's what I'm wondering too. I don't know.
I don't know how to get bees into a hive, or can bees spawn separately than hives?
I don't think so.
Because you can transport bees in minecarts and boats. I saw.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, like why you need to transport a bunch of bees somewhere. I guess maybe previously, before you could grow them, if you had taken a hive somewhere and your bees died, and you wanted to get more bees into those hives, I guess you'd have to transport them. But now that's changed.
Well, again, we don't even know if you can get more bees into a hive. Period.
True. We don't even know if they'll go into the hive.
Right.
I would assume that they would, based on the fact that you can transport them. Otherwise, I can't see a reason for transporting them.
Well, can't you make your own hives too, like apiaries?
You can?
I think so.
Is it a crafting recipe?
I think so.
Wait, why are we doing this then?
Well, no, it doesn't come with bees. It's like if you're like a bee connoisseur.
Oh, I see. If you're a bee connoisseur. Can you breed the bees?
I don't know. I know everything you know. And nothing more.
So why, when I ask you questions that I don't know, can't you answer them? Why do we have such... What is the percentage chance of getting a giant tree?
5%.
If you're lying to me. Because if it's 5%, I'll be pissed off. Because
that's why I said 5%. Because if it's the same as getting bees,
yeah, we have to build I know we can build the top on these things. I really didn't think it'd take this long with a 5% chance to get a second hive.
Yeah, right.
There are giant trees everywhere on this island. There's just so many of them.
Right. Yeah, no one likes the giant trees, Mojang. Just so you know.
That is a true thing.
There's no one out there that's like, man, those giant trees, that really adds a lot to the game.
Oh, did you see any of the comments on my video about
I did, and this one person thinks I'm dating a homeless person that comes to my house every other week.
I saw that one too. I think I like that. I like that philosophy. I want to see if this plays out. I was more talking about the Bill Clinton
I always thought I watched that episode.
The budget balancing thing. Everybody says how not to listen to you, how completely wrong you are Bill Clinton, we clearly had a national debt. We just had a balanced budget.
We had no deficit, but we still owed like China shitloads of money. And
the way you said it was that we owed nobody, like that he made it so we were good.
Okay, well, I didn't know you misunderstood that. I mean, our deficit
it wasn't just me. Look at the comments. It was
I ain't going and looking at the comments. I mean, if they argued, they knew what I meant. Then they knew that we did not have a deficit for the first time ever, and then
they were trying to clear up your statement to say we had a debt, we didn't have a deficit. I don't know why Good said that we haven't not had a debt since, and somebody even gave like the exact time frame of the last time we didn't have a debt.
That was like the 1800s last time we didn't have a debt.
It was a very long time ago.
But I mean, the deficit's still an important thing that we did not have, and we immediately went back to having trillions of dollars in a deficit. So
right.
So that's kind of important.
It is we don't have a balanced budget anymore,
right?
And we probably won't for a very long time.
No.
You said that like it hurt. No.
Sad's what it is.
It is sad that it's the way it is. It's sad that we have a two-party system that has sham of an impeachment trial.
Our country is like over. Like watching the Senate trial and stuff. Like we've just accepted that we have a king in office now, and like that's just it.
I do like how the people who are complaining that they didn't want new evidence brought in are like, all you're doing is repeating yourself on what you already said. It's like, well, yeah, because you won't let anything new come in. How can you not repeat yourself? As well as, isn't the point of this for a second group of people to look at the things that we've already stated?
No, idiot. But yeah, yes.
It's so random.
I've been listening to NPR in the car, so my daughter's been forced to listen to NPR in the car, and so now she's been following along on all this too, and like even she has a better understanding than I swear people on the Senate floor do.
That's sad,
but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Hopefully our elections in the next year aren't tampered with, I guess. I don't know. I mean, presidential campaigns are allowed to cheat, do whatever they want. There's no repercussions, so I don't know.
I mean, that seems to be life. This is life now.
Yeah. Who knows? Like, I mean, if you don't have fair elections, what do we have?
The best democracy ever.
Anyways, we're out of time on this planet. Hope you've enjoyed your time.
That might be true actually too, because of climate change. Got another big fucking tree, you piece of shit. This was not that big, but still. It's the
What, you get a beehive?
We got a beehive.
Yay! Perfect time to end this episode.
Smash it.
Oh, but see, that's what you did last time. You don't know. You still don't know if you're doing the right thing.
Sure, I do. I'm taking it down here by the other beehive. It's the right thing.
It's the right thing.
Two bees came out.
Oh God, they're gonna be dead soon. How are you supposed to get their honey if they get angry and they die? By the way,
sting you? I don't know. Oh, that's magical. The fact that they're just smashing each other's faces in right now. What are they doing? Are they just fighting over? Wait, that one went into the what?
They went back into the hive.
Oh, I was like, they just disappeared.
Yeah, they died. They're dead already.
They're gone.
Good 5% chance. Get going.
Which hive did they go into, though? Is there any way to find out?
No, they're in this one.
Yeah, they gotta be in this one, or they're in this flower.
Or they're in this flower.
It looked like they disappeared, and they were like, flower, smash, 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 gone.
Yeah, it did kind of look like that.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Bye.